How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just wanted to come on here for a while and give him a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark from last night, which was May 3rd, 2022. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was John Silver versus Ryan Namath. That was a great match, but the ending to it, John Silver went over with the Spin Doctor. Match 2, it was the Varsity Blondes, which are Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, versus the Workhorsemen, which are J.D. Drake and Anthony Henry. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Varsity Blondes went over because Griff Garrison pinned Anthony Henry with the Wheelbarrow Facebuster. Now, after the match, Tony Schiavone interviewed the Varsity Blondes, which are Brian Pillman Jr., Griff Garrison, and Julia Hart. Tony Schiavone brought up about the Varsity Blondes putting on a great match against the Workhorsemen and talked about Julia Hart and everything as well. And then Brian Pillman Jr. was saying, "Yeah, that's right, Tony. Griff and I, we put on a great match against the Workhorsemen. But throughout the months since Malachi Black sprayed mist in Julia Hart's eyes, Julia has not been the same. And I'm going to say this right now. House of Black, you want Julia? You got her." And everything. And then the Varsity Blondes, which are Brian Pillman Jr., Griff Garrison, and Julia Hart, left the ring and everything. That was cool. Match 3, it was Shawn Spears versus Lord Crew. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Shawn Spears went over with the C4. That was match 3, by the way. Match 4, it was Team Taz, which are Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, versus Jay Lucas and Teriyaki. That was a squash match, but the ending... Wait a minute. Match 4, it was Team Taz, which are Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, versus Jay Lucas and Teriyaki. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Team Taz went over cause Ricky Starks pinned Jay Lucas with the spear. Match 5, it was Julia Hart versus JC Love. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Julia Hart went over with the figure 4 neck lock. That was match 5, by the way. Match 6, it was Tony Nese versus Leon Ruffin. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Tony Nese went over with the running Nese. Match 7, it was Angelico versus Yuya Uemura. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Angelico went over with the Navarro Death Roll. Match 8, it was Dante Martin versus Invictus Cash. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Dante Martin went over with the nosedive. After the match, Tony Schiavone interviewed Dante Martin, and Tony Schiavone brought up that Dante Martin will be having a qualifying match in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup tournament, and will be facing Rey Fenix on AEW Dynamite in that qualifying match and everything. And then Dante Martin was saying, you know, my match tomorrow night on AEW Dynamite in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament against Ray Phoenix, it may be a dream match for some of you all, but it's also a dream match for myself. And I'm going to advance in this tournament because you got great talents in this tournament so far in Samoa Joe, Darby Allin, and the Undisputed Elite. And I am going to join that group of people, that group of talent, and qualify in the tournament and everything. Just cool. And match 9, which was the main event. Yeah, that was match 8, by the way. And match 9, it was And match 9, which was the main event, it was Toni Storm versus Diamante. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Toni Storm went over with the Storm Zero. Now, besides the that was match 9 in the main event, by the way. Now, besides the matches, Tony Schiavone interviewed Toni Storm, and, Tony Schiavone brought up about Toni Storm going to be facing Jamie Hayter in the first round of the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament in the women's division, and also brought up that Toni Storm will be teaming with Ruby Soho against Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter Friday night on AEW Rampage. Well, Toni Storm was saying, yeah, that's right, Tony. I am going to be facing Jamie Hayter in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament in the women's division. And yes, I would. And as far as me teaming with Ruby Soho against Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter goes, well, Britt, you thought you and Jamie were going to gang up on me, and I wasn't going to have no one. But you're sadly mistaken, because I brought a friend of mine myself in Ruby Soho. And Ruby and I, we're going to tear you both from limb to limb. You and your friend Jamie Hayter from limb to limb on Rampage Friday night. And after that, I am going to beat Jamie Hayter, and I'm going to advance in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament in the women's division, and I am going to win the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament in the women's division and everything. Just cool. And Tony Schiavone interviewed The Factory, which are QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, Nick Comoroto, Brick Aldridge, and Blake Lee. Well, Tony Schiavone brought up about next week on AEW Dark. The Factory will be going up against New Japan Pro Wrestling's LA Dojo and everything. And then QT Marshall was saying, all right, Tony, enough. I'm sick of hearing your mouth, because yes, The Factory are going up against New Japan Pro Wrestling's LA Dojo. But when The Factory appeared at New Japan Pro Wrestling's Win City Riot, The Factory took it over. And you have guys like myself, you have guys like Aaron Solo, guys like Nick Comoroto, and even better, guys like Brick Aldridge, guys like Blake Lee. Where The Factory is unstoppable. And next week, Aaron Solo and Nick Comoroto, they're going to take out whoever New Japan Pro Wrestling sends for their LA dojo and everything. Just cool. Now, besides all that, Taz and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. The referees for the event were Mike Posey, Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, Stephon Smith, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between John Silver versus Ryan Namath. Mike Posey refereed the match between the Varsity Blondes versus the Workhorsemen. Stephon Smith refereed the match between Sean Spears versus Lord Crew. Paul Turner refereed the match between Team Taz versus Jay Lucas and Teriyaki. Mike Posey refereed the match between Julia Hart versus JC Love. It was Mike Posey, by the way. Paul Turner refereed the match between Tony Nese versus Leon Ruffin. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Angelico versus Yuya Uemura. Stephon Smith refereed the match between Dante Martin versus Invictus Cash. And Paul Turner, that was Stephon Smith, by the way. Paul Turner refereed the match between Tony Storm versus Diamante. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now, the match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite tonight, it's going to be Deonna Purrazzo versus Mercedes Martinez for the Ring of Honor Women's title. Chris Jericho versus Santana. The Blackpool Combat Club, which are Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta, versus the Andrade Family Office, which are The Butcher, The Blade, and Angelico. Wardlow versus MJF's handpicked opponent. Jeff Hardy versus Bobby Fish in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division. And Ray Phoenix versus Dante Martin in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division. Now, besides the matches that have been announced, the Varsity Blondes, which are Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, will call out the House of Black, which are Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite tonight looks like it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark from last night, which was May 3rd, 2022. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.